Directions on how to create your Monet Bridge. Remember your name and teacher code on the back. You will be using oil pastels to complete the drawing portion of your project. What you're going to do to begin is approximately 4 fingers from the bottom of your paper. You'll start drawing your bridge and you're going to create a kind of rainbow shape. Make sure that your brown line is very bold, so if you have to go back over it, that is okay. Just very, very carefully draw your line all the way to the other side, that rainbow shape. Then about 3 or 4 fingers on top of the line that you originally drew, you're going to draw the top part of your bridge, and you're going to create that same kind of rainbow shape that goes from one side to the other side. Make sure these lines are touching the edge on both sides of your paper. As tempting as it is to brush off all those little crumbs that oil pastel leaves behind, remember oil pastels smear so easily, so it's important that we leave those crumbs alone and we do not brush them off. The next thing you're doing is you're adding vertical lines that go straight up and down that are probably about 2 or 3 fingers spaced apart all the way across your bridge. Make sure these lines are straight up and down. They should not go at any angle, and they're filling up all of the bridge space. I will end up with 5 lines. Then go back and make any touch-ups if you need. So if there's any areas that are a little bit lighter than they should be, just go back and make them nice and bold. Next, you're going to use black to add shadows. We're going to do this underneath our first rainbow line. Really take your time and draw a black line next to your first brown line that you made. If you do accidentally make a mistake and mark black on top of your original brown line, it's no big deal. You can pick up your brown and you can go back over top of the black that you accidentally may have drawn over. Next, you're going to take your black pastel and you're going to find the kind of L shape on your bridge, and you're going to also mark next to your brown lines here. Bridge is complete, then you're going to start adding some lily pads and some flowers. First, we'll start with the lily pads. You need to make an oval shape. You may want to practice this on the back of your paper with a pencil first. So it's kind of like you took a circle and you squashed it. And then you're coloring on the inside of it with light green. Or maybe you want to do the opposite and draw with light green and color with dark green. It's up to you. Another way to draw an oval is starting with 2 little letter C's and then connecting them together, if that is helpful for drawing an oval. Once you feel good about your ovals, go ahead and add ovals all over for lily pads all over. So the water is going to be behind the bridge, so you'll have lily pads all over. I like to do mine in small clusters of 3, but you could do more. The ones that are closer to you are going to be a little bigger The ones that are kind of farther back will look smaller. Something to keep in mind as you're adding ovals to your paper. Remember, after you have your outline, you're going to very carefully use a different color of green to color them in. Notice here how my lily pads are smaller because these are giving the illusion that they're farther away from us. Then go back and color them in very carefully, remembering not to brush off the crumbs. When you're done creating your ovals, go ahead and add little flowers on each of your lily pads. I like to use purple, pink, and red, but really you get to choose what color you would like your lilies to be on your lily pads. When your drawing is complete, you're going to use cool colors to paint your background. The white cup is actually magenta in case you forgot or aren't sure. I like to take the green and start patting it around the edge as if the trees and the grass are kind of framing in my picture, but really you get to decide if you would like to add green or not. Remember to pat your brush because this creates the idea that it is reflection on water. When you're ready for the next color, give your brush a really good swoosh in your water and pat it on your dry sponge to remove any extra paint or water. Then you can use whatever cool colors you decide. You're just patting your brush around and adding different spots of color. While you're doing this, you will add a little bit of salt to the puddles. As long as they're puddles, this will work. Just a little salt works. Rinse your brush before you grab another color and blot it off. And go ahead and continue patting your brush around. If you pat colors on top of each other, they will begin to mix. Remember, you can add salt wherever you choose. As long as there's a puddle, this effect will work. Just don't use too much salt, or otherwise it may not work how you expect. Be careful when you're patting down your magenta or your purple next to the green. They're very far from each other on the color wheel and they might make brown. At cleanup time, very gently put your artwork on a piece of cardboard and then carefully walk it to the drying rack. Here's a little up close of the cool effect the salt has on watercolor after it dries.